wrong on the inhale. Yeah, there we are. That sounds. Oh, brilliant. There's Katrina. Excellent. So, welcome, folks. Hopefully the music's at volume that it's not going to interfere, so you can, I might just take it down a tiny bit while I just get sorted. That's it down a bit. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me all right. And we're going to go through a Hatha flow tonight. So welcome, thank you for coming online, back in person on Monday. So that's great. We're going to start on our backs tonight. So not in Shavasana quite, but we're going to come all the way down to our backs. And what I thought we'd do, we would just take a moment and just allow ourselves to settle. Just bringing ourselves to our backs. Hands can be just on the belly or the hip points or the mat, wherever you're comfy. I'm in a little constructive rest pose with my knees together. And I just want you to feel the connection between the mat and the feet. The spine, the shoulders. And just take a moment with the breath. Just noticing where the breath is starting, where it's going to. And I want you to allow the breath just to lengthen a little. And when you get to the top of the breath on the inhale, and then the bottom of the breath on the exhale, I want you to just pause very gently if you're able to play with your breath. If not, then just allow just a rise and fall of the breath. And you could be doing this in seated if you're not on your back. Just inhaling. And exhaling after a pause. Then I want you to take one big deep inhale, just really from the bottom of your lungs, and really fill the belly and let it rise. And then allow the breath to disappear from the body. Do that once more, inhaling. Really filling, allowing the belly to lift. And then exhaling like that balloon deflating. And then we're going to bring the feet in line with the hip points. We're going to come up into a bridge. And we're just going to lift and really squeeze the glutes as we come up into a bridge, and maybe just gently lift the hands, the fingertips, all the way to the sky. We want you to really fire up the glutes here. So push through the hips. Drawing the glutes, really squeezing them in. And then drop all the way back down. Maybe hands come back down to the thighs. Take a pause here. Feel that connection. Inhaling. Exhaling, lift. Hands can come to the sky again. Really push through the front of the hips. And really squeeze the glute muscles. All the way back down. Take an inhale here. On an exhale, lift. Push through the front of the body. Maybe lift the heels. Hands maybe come to the heart into bridge. And And then all the way back down, dropping yourself all the way so your spine just draws itself to the mat. And we're going to lift the leg and push through the heel. So just the sole of the foot to the sky. And if you want to, you can lengthen. Now you can do this, if you're in seated, you can do this in Dandasana. So you can really stretch through the legs in Dandasana. Drawing one leg in, lifting the other to the sky, and stretching the other leg long. Always use a hand gently behind the leg just to stretch through that leg. And then we're going to draw knees into the chest. Again, you can do that in seated. And then cross the ankles and rock our way up and down the mat if you want to. You can take a couple of rocks. So we come all the way up to our seated position. Take your hands gently to your knees. And we're gently going to just work the neck a little. So we're going to take the neck, the chin all the way down. And then we're going to take it across to the left hand side. So chin towards the collarbone and letting a little stretch to the right hand side. Cross to the right hand side. Back all the way to center, down again. And then lift your gaze, just lift your gaze to your third eye, so you're not letting your neck go all the way back. You're just allowing just a gentle lift, and then taking the shoulders to the ears. And then all the way back down. Hands are gently going to come forwards and lift to the sky. We're going to bring arms behind us, just drawing the elbows down, and then the sides of the hands with the pinkies are going to come together as we tuck our chin to the chest. Inhaling, lift, and then draw the hands gently. A different stretch, drawing them all the way back, and then a stretch all the way forwards. Right hand to left knee, taking a gentle twist, lifting through the spine. Crossing the hand over, so we get a little left hand to right knee, and then right hand coming behind us into a twist. All the way back, right hand now come over the left hand and just gentle roll down here with the neck. We're going to come forwards on the mat, so to start back position. Hands gently underneath the shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes. We're going to come to hovering cat. So just lifting gently, gaze towards the mat. And on every exhale, draw the core up and in. So inhaling and exhaling, draw the core up and in. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Knees are going to come down. Forearms are going to come down. And we're just going to gently take the knees back. And then just push the hips gently towards the sky. If it's tight on your shoulders, bring one hand across and come to a little quarter dog pose, and the forehead can come to the back of the arm. Pushing back up to all fours. We're going to extend the right leg long, so just to the end of the mat. Just let a little stretch into the back of the leg, back of the heel. And then lift the heel up. Maybe, if you want to, you can bring a bend in the knee and the sole of the foot to the sky. Gaze down, and then come into a little balance here. Keep that breath moving. Hand comes down, knee comes back under, extend the opposite leg. Lifting that foot up, maybe bending at the knee, it's optional. Opposite hand comes out. If you're bending the knee, you can push through the foot a little and get a little stretch into this. We're going to bring the knees all the way back down to the mat. We're going to just tuck our toes and a little bit of yoga for the toes. We're going to walk the hands back into a little candlestick pose. So just walking the hands and lifting, coming into a balance. Hands can come to the heart, lift. Or we can lift all the way up, working on our balance, our drishti, that focal point. You can always leave the right hand to the sky and left hand open. Work our balance here. Left hand comes all the way up, and then the right hand comes all the way back down again. Back to candlestick. And then walk the hands forwards, and we're going to come all the way up into our downward facing dog. So tucking our toes, thighs, belly towards the thighs, allow the legs to stretch. So we're not pushing through the shoulders, and then we're allowing ourselves to come and relax the back of the back. Maybe here you could just challenge your balance a little bit. Maybe you lift the left hand over the left hand. Maybe the right hand. Wherever we are, we're going to bend the knees, look forwards and step into our forward fold. Take a moment in forward fold. Inhale to flat back or version. And then sweep all the way up. And then hands to the heart. Bringing your hands gently by the side. And we're just going to work through some flows. And what I want us to do tonight is I want us to really concentrate on our breath with our movement, and also that very clear alignment. So making sure that we're not weighting one side, or we're not stressing our left hand side a little more than our right, or using our right more than our left. So just let's feel that real centered position, and with that breath, using that breath to just gently draw the core on the exhale to support us in our pose. So we're just going to come gently here into standing, into the Tadasana. Lifting the toes. We challenge for you, not quite for now, but if you've got a tiny little ball at home, you can pick the balls up with your toes. Little kind of little Kong ball if you've got a wee dog like mine. Just a big challenge. In the meantime, we're just going to lift our toes, and from the pinkies all the way through, we're going to press them into the mat, into the big toe joint. And then what I want you to do is I want you to, and I know one of my yogis on Tuesday nights going to love this, I want you to see if you can align the sides of your feet with the yoga mat. It might feel odd. Let's see if we can just, and feel the legs automatically draw up into that firm feeling that we often work to lift the kneecaps. We've done it just by moving our feet. Relax the shoulders. And we're going to sweep the hands to the sky. Maybe coming to high prayer. gaze towards the thumbs. All the way to a forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Right foot to runner's lunge. So leave the right foot at the top of the mat into runner's lunge. Draw the knee down, sweep the hands. Lower lunge, hands to high prayer. All the way back to runner's lunge, lift up, come to plank. Keep that real central feeling, even in left and right. Pushing ourselves into downward facing dog. Belly comes towards the thighs, straighten the legs. Allow ourselves into downward facing dog. Hop or step to the front of the mat into our Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Sweep. Watching your plants to high breath. There goes the breathe. Hands to the heart. Just for a moment here, come into Tadasana. Check the feet. Let's just align them with the edges of the mat. Sweep the hands high, float the hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Left foot at the top of the mat. Right foot steps back, runner's lunge. Really feel the weight in the heel. Drop the back knee and tuck if you would like, and then sweep all the way up, pushing through the feet. You're going to take a vinyasa, heading to plank. Just pause in your plank. And then choose where you want to go. This might just be knees down to start with, into Bhujangasana, Naked Cobra. All the way back up to downward facing dog or all fours. In downward facing dog, just again align the sides of the feet, the outsides of the feet with the edge of the mat. That might mean that your big toes gently tuck in very slightly. Allow the head to relax, drishti to be through. And then all the way to the top of the mat again. And just take a gentle hinge at the hips, lifting yourself all the way back up, back into Tadasana. And I thought we'd go through a very traditional Hatha moon salutation. We had that wonderful worm moon this week. I think it's the last one before the spring equinox. So looking forward to the warming of the land, and hence called the worm moon when all the little creatures come out, apparently. So I'm sure if Amanda was in here somewhere, she'd tell us. Tadasana. And really concentrate on your breath here. Let's just align those feet so we can feel that sturdy base in Tadasana. We're going to interlace the thumbs and we're going to sweep all the way forwards and up. We're going to take an inhale and an exhale. Bending the knees, drawing the core, we come to Uttanasana. Bring the weight over the feet. Still keep the edge of the feet parallel to the edge of the mat. Now we're going to take a little malasana here into one squat. Now you might wish for your knees to bring your feet out and drop the hips into malasana. Hands can come onto the mat and come into prayer. Take the gaze forwards. Really feel the connection between the soles of the feet and the mat. And then we're going to bring the right foot into a position where we can step to runner's lunge. Bring the hands down, step the right foot, step the left foot back. And just keep this runner's lunge. You can bring the knee down if you wish. So it's just the beginnings of low lunge. Extending, if you want to, the back foot. And as we do this, push into that back and shin, back leg, and feel the inner thighs really connect. We're going to take the palms forward, sweep them all the way to the sky into low lunge, crescent moon. We're going to draw all the way back to that low lunge, runner's lunge kind of position. But as we do, we're going to bring the right knee to join the left. Sweeping all the way up to a baby camel. Feel the strength. Sweeping to child's pose. Sliding forwards either onto all fours or all the way through to Bhujangasana. Use your hands to push away from the mat, opening the shoulders, gaze, pushing into the front of the legs. Let's activate the body. And we push all the way back into Balasana, into child's pose. We're going to sweep all the way up to camel, Uttanasana, all the way through. And all the way forwards. Right foot's going to come forwards into our little kind of runner's lunge, which is going to allow us to draw all the way up, back into low lunge, crescent moon. We're going to use the hands to step forwards back into little Malasana. So stepping into little Malasana, sinking the hips low. As we come into that standing forward bend, remember to align the sides of the feet with the yoga mat. Bring them underneath. Pushing through the soles of the feet, softening the knees. Take an inhale. On the exhale, draw the core in and sweep the hands all the way, hinging at the hips, lifting high. Hands to the heart. Back to Tadasana. Again, just check your feet. Let's just really connect the toes, the soles of the foot, and allow relaxing into the top body. Check your edges of your feet again. Let's see if we can really start to connect all of our leg muscles all the way up. So we've got that really nice firm base. Sweep the thumbs and the hands all the way up. And then fold all the way forwards. Move into Malasana, into garland pose. Take a breath here. And we're going to work the opposite side now. So the left hand foot is going to stay at the front of the mat for low lunge. Hands come into frame. Left foot steps, come into a runner's lunge, and then drop the knee and just pause. We normally sweep the hands here, but let's just pause, untucking the toes. And then sweep hands high, prayer, low lunge. Come all the way forwards, framing the foot, just take a pause. As we sweep the hands up, we're going to actually start to bring that left knee back into camel. Little camel variation. And then child's pose as we come all the way down. We're going to gently come to all fours or come all the way forwards to cobra. Pushing up through that front body. Holding cobra here or all fours. Backing the toes back to child's pose. Sweep the hands all the way to the sky. Left foot's going to come forwards into little lunge position. Sweep the hands, low lunge, high. Come forwards, just that low lunge position, so we're ready to come in. We just tuck the toe, draw ourselves up to Malasana. Hips down. Then pushing all the way to a forward fold. Realign the feet with the edges of the mat. Taking a moment here. Flat back, your version. And we're going to just step to plank. Take a moment here. Now see if you can play with this Chaturanga Dandasana, this four-limbed staff pose. It might be knees come down and you're just supporting your shoulders. Or it might be that you're working with the whole body, bringing it to the mat, and you're just playing with this little dip of the plank, the elbows all the way to the back of the mat. Wherever you are, coming all the way either to all fours or all the way back down to Bhujangasana and lifting into baby cobra. Meeting in downward facing dog, lifting all the way up on an exhale and taking a moment in downward facing dog. Relax that head. Make sure the first finger and the fourth kind of thumb are just really pressing into the mat. Realign the sides of the feet. Maybe the big toes come in very slightly, bending the knees. Allow yourself into downward facing dog. And then we're going to just connect the left foot, lift the right to the sky into tripod. And then draw that right foot all the way through. Now, as we do, drop that back foot on an angle. We're going to come to side angle. So you can either come to that side angle that we extend by using our arm on our leg, or you can keep your hand down here and just open to a little side angle, wherever you feel comfy. And then all the way back down to the mat. We're going to turn towards the mat. Bring that standing leg gently towards you into the center and just lift. Maybe just bending that knee. Maybe bending the leg behind you. Let's see if you can challenge yourself. Can you balance? Can you take your hands to the leg? Balance. Doesn't matter if you've got a hand on the mat. Wherever you are, stepping all the way back to plank. Let's even ourselves out. And this time, a vinyasa of your choice. Meeting in downward facing dog, or playing just in that stacked back position. Connecting the right foot, lifting the left to tripod. Bringing that left foot forwards. And on the opposite side now, coming to either extended triangle, so you can bring yourself up here and the arm forwards, or you can keep this as a side angle practice, dropping that back foot. All the way forwards. Just walk that foot just underneath you, just a little bit towards you, and then lift up. And maybe you bend both knees, the softening the standing leg and bending the knee behind you. Maybe you play with a little balance. Maybe the hand is just on the mat. And then bring the feet together. Soften the hips all the way down and just draw yourself all the way up into a big sweep back. Standing. Just take a moment if you are at home and you've got water, that's great. Just taking a moment, shaking out if you want to. Just adjusting and then coming back to that Tadasana position where we're connecting the legs, just looking at our foot position, just allowing a relaxed kind of top body. And this time we're going to take hands to the heart and sink into one of our all-time favourites, Tadasana, into chair. Really sinking, so sink down into it. Inhale. Exhale, draw that tailbone into neutral. And then gently, we're going to rise up with our right foot. So lifting one-legged mountain. Now, as we bring our hands behind us, we're going to draw ourselves into a high lunge position. Reach all the way towards high lunge. That breath moving. Inhale and exhale. And then draw the hands gently behind you as you draw the lower knee and sweep forward. Hands going to come inside the foot and walk our foot out to a little lizard lunge, stepping the knee up. Stay here, or you can come into an easy twist towards the knee with the right hand left on the mat. You push into that leg heel. Feel those legs working. Bring the hand inside and drop that back and allow yourself to walk back into like a little lizard monkey split. I don't think that's really an animal, is it? I think a lizard monkey. That's what that would look like. You know what I mean. And then all the way back into that lizard. Framing the foot as you draw yourself into runner's lunge. Either coming to child's pose or play with vinyasa. Wherever it takes you. Maybe to downward facing dog. Maybe it takes you to child's pose. Wherever it is, just breathe. Stepping forwards to the top of the mat, your journey all the way up, however you take that. back into Tadasana. Hands remain at the heart. Just find your base in Tadasana and sink to chair, Utkatasana. Take an inhale here and an exhale, drawing the core gently in. Arms are going to come behind us as we step the opposite foot now back, ready to take high lunge, sweeping the hands forwards. I'm connecting the palms today, just to lift up. Hands sweep behind us as we drop the back knee. Untuck if you wish, sweep all the way up. Hand comes inside, lizard. Knee lifts if you wish. Easy twist if you wish. Back to that lizard, monkey split. All the way forwards. And this time, draw both knees together and allow yourself to slip the hips back into Balasana. Take a moment here. Bring yourself all the way forwards to stack back position and bring the right knee into the center of the mat. Swivel on that right knee, coming into a variation of a side plank. And then walking that arm slightly away from you, that supporting arm, so it's not directly underneath the shoulder joint. Come up to a kneeling half moon. Pushing through the heel. And then we're going to take that top hand and that top foot and connect them, if you can, pushing through that top hip. Back to kneeling half moon. And then connect the side of the foot to the yoga mat as we lift up into gate pose all the way through. And we're going to flow just back to either kneeling half moon, or you can grab the ankle. All the way back to gate pose. Going towards the top of the mat, still with that knee connected, just giving the back of that left leg, the side you're on, just a bit of a stretch. And then joining the other into little plank. Swapping knees now. So my other knee's underneath me, and that allows me to just pivot and come up into this side plank position. Walk that hand gently away from you. Lift into kneeling half moon. If you want to, grab the top hand, top foot, and just push open through the chest on the hip. Back to that kneeling half moon. Into gate pose, lifting all the way through. All the way back, so we come to kneeling half moon, or allow that lift in the hip. Back to gate pose. All the way forwards, meeting in plank. all the way up to downward facing dog, or if you're in stack back position, that's grand. And we're going to anchor the left foot, connect the left foot with the right into tripod. You might want to open the hip if you want to. And then we're going to slide that right foot all the way under our left hand side. Bring our hips down and a little push up. The chin comes towards the mat, push up, allow ourselves into that wide seated fold. Wide seated fold, whatever way you are is absolutely fine. Just take a moment here, just seated, back of the legs, just engaging. And then the left hand is going to come just behind you, and this right hip and this right hand are going to lift as we just push up the side, using the edge of the left. All the way back down. Hands come to the front of the mat. Little push up. And as we do, you can connect that left foot and sweep the right all the way back up to that tripod position. Back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Anchor the right, connect the right foot, lift the left. Maybe you open into a little stacked position with tripod. And we move just through the left foot to the right hand side, slides through. That allows us to keep that foot sliding, allows the left hip to come to the mat. And just to tuck our chins, a little push up, really slowly brings us to wide fold on the other side. See, my back's now turn towards you, but we'll all be different ways. That's great, I'm waiting. And then the right hand's going to connect behind you. That right hip is just going to push away from, lift away from the mat as we lift the left up to the side plank variation. All the way back down to the mat. And then hands come to the front of the mat. And bring the left knee underneath you, the right knee behind it. And if your hips allow, sink into a little shoelace. I just did that so we've got that on a little snippet on camera so that we can start that flow. Wherever you are, coming forwards. Bringing yourself back to stack back position and sinking to child's pose. Really breathe into this pose here. Allow yourself to relax into child's pose. Rising all the way up to stack back position. Just take a really firm base here, pressing the hands away, maybe tucking the toes, taking the gaze between the thumbs and maybe just lifting the knees into hovering cat. Dropping the knees, we're going to bring the forearms down and walk the hips up into dolphin. Lift the hips and then step the legs all the way forwards, just into a dolphin pose. Or you can stay in child's pose, totally up to you, wherever you are comfy. And then bring the knees down, sweep the hands towards the knees. and bring yourself gently upright. Allow the shoulders just to relax for a moment here. Take a moment, just listening to your body, breath. And we're going to sweep the feet to one side and bring ourselves all the way into Dandasana. Backing the tailbone gently under. Just allow the back of the legs to connect. Hands gently placed on the legs. And activate the legs by just drawing the toes towards you, pushing the back of the legs into. I want you to bend the right knee all the way to you. Lift the left arm to the side, gently wrapping round that knee. Just breathing gently here. Extending both legs again. Pausing, drawing the left knee towards you. Just gently lifting and extending, just lengthens, it increases our lift here and allows us just to wrap. Just breathing into this gently. All the way back forwards and draw gently the feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana to take us into little butterfly here. Shouldn't have said Supta, that's reclined, Baddha Konasana. If you want to take it into reclined butterfly, you're very welcome to. Just taking a moment, just opening the soles of the feet. Allowing just the breath, some softness. And round the top body if you wish, bringing the hands gently to the head. Gently walking the hands back towards you. The knees come all the way together. And just give yourself space on the mat to come all the way down. But allow yourself to draw yourself into a little boat pose. And then allow yourself to either hold your variation of boat pose. That might be full boat, or it might be half boat. And then draw yourself all the way. Now, if you're not coming all the way to your back, then come to a seated position where you can use a supine windshield wiper or reverse pigeon. If not, we're going to come all the way down and we're just going to draw ourselves into that reverse pigeon, but supine version, allowing the hands gently behind the legs. And if you've just joined us, I'm really sorry. I have reminded folk that the class is earlier, so but I've recorded this so I can give you the link literally in about 10 minutes. Just allow yourself into this reverse pigeon. Swapping from side to side if you wish. And then where we started in that bridge pose, that supine bridge pose. So that's my dog waking up, sorry. But that's just bringing our feet all the way towards us, lifting through the hips and allowing ourselves to come into a bridge pose, lifting the arms to the sky if you want, pressing through the hips, engage the glutes. Hands can come behind the head. You can stretch the arms out if you wish, if you have enough space. Or you can support hands on the hips. All the way back down, just taking a pause. Lifting one foot to the sky, extending the other long. Maybe taking the back of the leg and even bending the knee into the body. Giving the ankle a good wiggle if you want. Just drawing opposite here. Maybe the leg comes to the sky initially, maybe it bends into the body. And then draw the knees all the way into the body. Just take yourself a little hug. You can take a little rock and roll. Maybe coming into a supine twist. So the feet come to one side and you may wish to come into a supine twist, hands on the side or hands extended. Winding down. Moving to the other side when you're ready. And then maybe before we come to relaxation, maybe you want to take Supta Konasana, recline butterfly, or maybe you want to take a half happy baby, just one foot on the ground, the other sole to the sky, maybe a full happy baby, wherever you want to be. Or maybe it's just constructive rest pose, knees come together. And then we are at our point in our practice where we have time for relaxation and you don't have to go any cold tonight. So maybe you dim the lights, maybe you find a blanket. Get yourself ready for a wee relaxation. Getting yourself cozy. And I'm going to just sit in a very gentle yin version of hero pose. So I'm sitting on my bolster, knees, but my feet just gently out, and just a slightly different variation, which is quite comfy. It still lifts you very gently up through the spine. Just need a maybe slightly higher bolster. My weak. And then just allow yourself to relax every single bit of the body. Let the body feel heavy. Start with the heels, feeling the connection with the mat and the heels. Bring that awareness up through the back of the legs. You can still do this if you're seated. Scanning through the body, all the way to the hips. And then take that awareness really slowly all the way up through the spine, almost going through each vertebrae. As you feel the back just relax and feel supported. Coming to the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to feel heavy. Back of the head. And allow that softness to come into the body. The softness of the eyes, the forehead, softness in the shoulders, softness in the breath, rise and fall. Softness in our hands and toes, our fingers. And let any tension just melt away. And just allow that breath just to be your focus. Inhale and the exhale, rise and fall. And take a big, deep inhale right from the bottom of your belly, just all the way up from your toes. Just bring big inhale. And then push the exhale all the way out. Maybe allowing a little movement in your hands, a little movement in your kind of palms as you move your fingers into palms. Moving the toes. And then very slowly, just allow yourself gently onto your side to draw all the way back up when you are ready into seated. And if you want to stay in Shavasana for another 10 minutes, you can just stay there. I'll end the meeting and you can just drift away. Bringing ourselves just together to finish class. And with a gentle inhale, a gentle exhale. Thank you very much for joining class tonight. And I'll just switch the recording off and then connect to the